A political pundit slamming President Trump's planned talks with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, saying that the U.S. is conceding too much already.
I have to tell you, there's a lot of people asking, there's not many preconditions the United States is asking for. So far in this potential summit, North Koreans have gotten a lot out of it. What has the United States gotten yet?
Well, this despite North Korea just announcing an end to its ballistic missile testing program. So is this really a better deal for North Korea so far? And joining me now to debate is District Media Group President Beverly Hallberg and Mustafa Tamiz. Thank you both for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Good morning.
So as we get into this, let's take a look at what President Trump had to say in response to Chuck Todd there. You heard what he said. This was his tweet. He said, "Sleepy eyes Chuck Todd of Fake News NBC just stated that we've given up so much in our negotiations with North Korea and they have given up nothing. Wow, we haven't given up anything. And they have agreed to denuclearization. So great for world site closure and no more testing." And then he had a couple other tweets after that. So Beverly, as we continue to take a look at his response, who do you agree with? Chuck Todd, leave aside the lazy eyes, whether he has those or not, in reference to North Korea. So what do you think? Are we giving away too much?
Well, I don't know what Chuck Todd thinks we're giving away. If we do get North Korea to say we're going to stop our missile testing, we're going to stop our nuclear program, that is a huge victory for the Trump administration, and everybody should be praising him. If we're able to do this through diplomatic efforts and not through military efforts, I mean, it's an understatement that this is a tremendous victory. But I will say I have concerns. I don't think we can trust the worst human rights dictator of our time to tell us what the truth is. So if President Trump does go over there and meet with Kim Jong-un, I think you need to be very careful that everything that he promises, that it's tested, because I don't think we can take him at his word.
And Mustafa, I think that the president has showed as well through some tweets and other avenues that he is being cautious.
Look, he's not being cautious. Kim Jong-un has 60 nuclear warheads, according to all experts. He's tested, since Donald Trump has been in office, more than his father and his grandfather has combined, more missile tests, more nuclear tests. The president has agreed to meet with him. We don't know what the preconditions are, although he said that he's not testing anymore, but the conditions that he said that he's not testing anymore is because he already has those capabilities. The Kim family has wanted one thing and one thing only, which is to sit on the same stage as the President of the United States, and the President has given him that. We have to do a much better job. So rather than President worrying about what Chuck Todd is saying, he should be preparing for this summit. The President is incredibly thin-skinned. He lets people get under his skin rather than prepare for an important meeting like this. So
do you think
what we have to really hope for is that the President is spending the time going through his briefings and understanding what's at stake. This is nuclear war we're talking about. This is not some Twitter war.
Well, clearly he already had Mike Pompeo have a meeting with Kim Jong-un, so that alone has already happened. Beverly, what's your take on that?
Yeah, he definitely is preparing, and I would agree that we do need to be careful about this meeting, but I would ask Democrats, if this isn't the solution, then what is? It didn't work under the Obama administration. That is when we saw North Korea escalate their nuclear program. But when it comes to Trump meeting with Kim Jong-un, I do want him to be careful about the optics. I'm hoping it doesn't turn into a big camera show where we can see them smiling and shaking hands. Once again, this is someone who tortures his own people. I'm hoping that many of the negotiations take place behind the scenes and once again verifying everything that he promises, because I don't think we can take him at his word.
Yeah, the president has said that, you know, maybe things will work out, maybe they won't, only time will tell. And I would think that he's definitely preparing as we move forward. Let's talk a little bit more about Mike Pompeo, though. Mustafa, I want to ask you about that. Will Democrats end up trumping the president's North Korea diplomacy, so to speak, by playing politics with Pompeo? They actually approved him for CIA, but not saying so much about him as Secretary of State. What do you think?
Well, let's look at the facts. The Republicans control the Senate. They control the committee. It's Ron Paul Rand Paul that is the one that's voting against Mike Pompeo. So when you begin to say that Democrats are the ones that are a problem, it makes Republicans look weak. You control the U.S. Senate, you control the Foreign Relations Committee, and it's Rand Paul that's voting against Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo is a weak nominee,
but what I asked you,
and that's
Mustafa,
why
was in
you've got a problem.
In reference to the Democrats, please pull that up on the screen right now. Democrats who said yes on the CIA director as Pompeo, but no for the Secretary of State.
I think you should ask Rand Paul, who has worked with. You should ask Rand Paul, a United States senator elected by Republicans, who ran as a Republican nominee for the presidency of the United States, who is voting against, who has said clearly he's voting against Mike Pompeo. That's the question we should ask ourselves.
Beverly, what about you in terms of...
Should we ask ourselves that question?
Final word here.
You're mentioning one Republican who, by the way, Rand Paul is always going to have more of an isolationist perspective on foreign policy. So this is right in line with what Rand Paul would do. I think where the hypocrisy is that the same Democrats who voted for him as a director of the CIA now all of a sudden are saying that he's not qualified for this position. But yet at the same time, they know that he's going to get confirmed. I think this is more about political posturing and hoping that for their own liberal base that it looks good for them in the midterms.
All right. Thank you both for joining us. We will see what happens moving forward. Thank you.